to file a claim. Let me show you a quick video. And then I show him the beneficiary benefit, the video. He watches the video and he's like, oh my God, I don't want that to happen to my family. So now I don't have to wrestle with him about giving me beneficiaries emergency contacts. If you wrestle with it, it's because you're not showing the video. So you can't keep cheapening it down the process. If the video's 2 minutes, play it. Because they trust a third-party source more than they trust you. You don't want their mind thinking he's just trying to get referrals. You want them to think about the cause. You want them thinking about the crusade. And that the reason you sat down here is to protect his family. And you're going to make sure that his wishes is honored. Does that make sense? So he watched the video and said, now, you got down your wife as your beneficiary.
Yes.
But God forbid if both of y'all die in a car crash together, we still need to pay somebody to make sure your children are okay. Who's going to be your contingent?
My parents.
Your parents, okay, great. So we're going to call your parents and we're going to set up a time where I can deliver the certificate to them. I just need your authorization on the certificate so that I can go ahead and deliver it to your parents. Now, guys, the certificate has been approved by Home Office, so it's on POL. So you can go right on the downloads and you get the beneficiary and emergency contact certificate. They got it on POL now, okay? So from here, now I say, okay, now I can't determine who his beneficiary is, okay? His parents could live in Florida. His contingent could live in, New York. So obviously that's not going to be a sale for you, right? No, wrong. You got this thing called VC. Get your non-resident license and make it happen over the phone. However, if you're not doing that, you can't control the beneficiary, but you do control the emergency contact. So the emergency contact is where we get the biggest mileage out of this program, not the beneficiary, because they usually write somebody that's in the house and then their children, I probably wrote all them up already. So now I need to tell him who his emergency contacts is. He don't need to tell me. Because I need to make sure that I'm putting myself in the right what? Marketplace. Does that make sense? So if I'm talking to him, say, Mr. Jones, now we got your primary beneficiary, your contingent. The next thing we're going to look at is your emergency contacts. Because again, the biggest problem that we have is the debt claims don't get paid. So we can't get a hold to your parents. We need 3 emergency contacts. So if you're stuck on the side of the road today and you don't have AAA, you need to call one of your close friends or relatives that you deem responsible, who lives around a 25-mile radius here and is at least 25 years old. Who would you call first?
Kenny Hughes.
Kenny Hughes, okay, Grace. Kenny married by chance? So he gave me Kenny Hughes, that's one. Now, if I have 2 tickets, let's say the Rams left St. Louis, and they're going to go to the Super Bowl this year. I got 2 tickets, you can only take one person. Who are you taking to that game?
Glenn played.
Glenn? And Glenn's married?
Yes.
Okay, and then lastly, who's going to be ticked off because you chose Glenn instead of them?
Rick Miller.
Rick Miller's going to be messy. So then now, he gave me 3 emergency contacts. All I did is paint a scenario. I didn't say who was going to be your emergency contact. Because then they start telling you they don't know nobody. I painted a scenario. See, I know if I'm stuck on the side of the road, I'm calling my brother first. I know who I want to spend time with at a 3-hour football game. There's usually going to be somebody that's like-minded, right? Birds of a feather. So I'm painting this scenario, and then who's going to be ticked off because you can only take one? So he gave me now 3 emergency contacts. Then I said, okay, Mr. Jones, I need you to call your parents, and all I want you to say is, Mom, I took out an insurance policy. I need you to talk to my agent. That's it. So I'll call your mom.
Mom? Hi, I'm sitting here. I just got an insurance product, and I want you to talk to my agent.
So I extended my arm because I don't want him talking too much. They get on the phone, Mom, you need some shows? I mean, my agent, he can get you some shows. I got to be a lot for a little money. So then they mindset is in a pushback mode. Does that make sense? So I want to make sure he don't say too much. So I keep my hand right here and give it to me. So then I get the phone, right? And he called his mom. Hey, Mom, how you doing?
Doing great.
Great. I'm Rondell. I'm your son's insurance agent. And the reason for our call is he took out a policy, but the biggest challenge we have in the industry is that debt claims don't get paid because the beneficiary never knew about the policy or how to file a claim. So I'll be in your neighborhood tomorrow delivering some of these certificates so you can understand what company he's with, how to file a claim, and who you need to contact in the event of your son's untimely death. Obviously, he's not going anywhere soon, but we want to make sure if that happens, that what he desires happens in the event of his untimely death. So I'm in your area tomorrow. Is 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock better for you and your husband?
Probably 7.
7 o'clock, great. Well, I'm going to be by there tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and I have a free gift for you when I arrive from my company and myself, okay?
Okay.
So notice I said I'm gonna have a free gift. So my show ratio is in the high 90% because they're anticipating a what? A gift. So when I get to the door, the first thing I need to be doing is handing her a what?
Gift.
I need to hand her a gift. So I'm gonna role play from the door.
Am I getting it?
Oh, you can send your husband to the door. I usually make my wife to the door.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Younger?
Yes.
How you doing? I'm running your son's insurance agent. I spoke to your wife yesterday about the policy. All right. Can we use your kitchen table?
Yes.
Great. I got that gift that I promised you guys as well. So, how you doing, Miss Younger? Hi. All right, Rhonell. Nice to meet you. I spoke with you yesterday. So, which one of y'all's cell phone go dead the most? Whose cell phone is always dead? His? Okay. Well, the gift goes to your husband. So it's a cell phone charger here, and it's from our company, Primerica, and my information is right there on the back of the battery. But anytime your cell phone go dead, just jump in your pocket or in your car glove box, and you always want to keep that phone charged. So he has no reason why he's not returning your calls now. That's good, right? So anyway, I'm not going to take up too much of you guys' time. I want to go over the certificate so that you can make sure. So you can make sure that what needs to happen for your family or your son happens in an event of his untimely death. So here at the top of the certificate, it just shows that your son, he's the insured, and right up underneath that it has you all as the beneficiary. Can you just look over the information to make sure we have all your information right?
That looks perfect.
That looks perfect. Okay, great. The next line is showing me, I'm Rhonell, I'm your agent, so I handle all of your family's insurance and investment needs from this point on. So anything you need insurance-wise or investment-wise, auto, home, whatever, you can use the same information to contact me. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And then lastly is my office information. Now, the thing that concerned your son the most was income replacement. He wanted to make sure that in the event of his untimely death, he wanted to make sure that his wife and his children continue to get his income for a minimum of 10 years so that you have a transitional period from life with him to life without him. Because you understand that if we die, our paycheck died with us. And so your family members left without you or that paycheck. Let me ask you all a question. Who takes care of your income replacement?
We have it through work.
Okay, you got, no, not your insurance, your income replacement.
The income would be through work.
Yeah,
So if you die, your boss will still send your wife your paycheck?
No, as far as the insurance at work.
Right, now I know you got insurance, they give you like 2 times your salary. I'm talking about year 3, year 4, year 5, like your income being replaced.
I guess not.
You don't have any? So at this point, your eyebrows go up.
And he also, can I say something? He also slowed down when he was explaining that. Did you see that? Where it was emotional, and he's just role playing. Right? No, seriously, you got to catch this stuff, right? Because you're going to go in there, wham bam, and it's not going to be the same.
Absolutely. And emotions is everything, right? We got to get them over to our way of thinking. So I always use things like you ladies that cut your eyebrows off, you need to work on that. Let them grow back. Get that little marker or something, but you need to get them back. Sexy is cool, but you're trying to build a business right now. You get sexy back, promise. You will bring sexy back when you make $1 million. Right now, you need eyebrows. True story. I made my wife get hers. So you look back like you expected them to have it. So if I look back like you don't have any, so you almost got to look like something started stinking in the room. And so you don't have any?
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, not outside of work.
Really?
no, I'm just trusting the job.
Right. So let me ask you this, Mr. Younger. Was it your intention that if you died today that your wife and your children had to figure out life without you and your paycheck? That's your intentions? Okay, well, real quick, because I got a couple other clients I need to see. I want to share with you what I shared with your son and why he thought it was important to protect his income for his wife and his children if he didn't make it home. You ever been laid off before? Yeah. You ever think about those 2-3 months where you didn't have a paycheck or you was waiting on unemployment, that transitional period?
Yes.
How was that for your family?
Very uncomfortable.
Can you imagine if you died today and it won't be 2 or 3 months, your wife and your kids will never get your check again? How does it make you feel?
I don't like that part.
Right. And most of our clients don't. They just never been exposed to income replacement. They really never even thought about it, to be honest with you. They got insurance, but they never protected their income. Does that make sense to you?
It does make sense.
So we use a simple concept called the dime. And the dime is a formula to help you to understand how much protection you need in the event of your untimely death. And it's an acronym. The D in the dime is for death protection. You're taking care of through your job, right? You got death protection
Yeah,
for your job?
that should, yeah.
Okay. Where are you working now?
FedEx.
Where did you work prior to FedEx?
Constructions.
You had insurance with them at the construction company? You didn't? What about your previous employer? Did you have insurance with them? You didn't? All right, so insurance on the job is not a guaranteed thing, is it?
No, I guess not.
Or they choose to give it to you, or they choose not to. They choose to see the job give it, but the job also take it away, don't they?
That's a good point.
So we always recommend, even though you have job insurance, that you have one that you own and you control for your debt protection, because your family's already grieving. The last thing you want them to do is have to beg for $10,000 or $15,000 to bury you. Am I correct on that assumption?
Yes.
All right, the eyes and the income replacement. So let me start with you, Mr. Young. If you died today, how much every single month do you think, or should I ask your wife, how much would you and your children need to come in every single month to make sure that you have the same quality of life that your husband will provide for you?
Probably about $4,000.
About $4,000 a month. So if you look at $4,000 a month and you do that over 12 months, what's that, about $45,000 a year, somewhere in there? How would your life be without that $45,000 for you and your children?
Not good.
So I pause a little bit, because I need him to feel uncomfortable. Because the women are all about it. But I need him to feel this discomfort. So I look at him and I kind of like nod my head. All right. So on your mortgage, are you all buying her or are you renting?
We bought the house.
Man, if you had to write a paycheck today or a check today to pay off the house in full, approximately how much would you need that check to be for?
400? Or it was
Or 400? I don't think it's that.
99 grand back there.
About 400,000.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: is it your plan if you lost your husband, would you want the house paid off so that you don't have to worry about
Yes.
that? And the last thing is for education costs, Mr. Younger. A four-year major university, we know it's easily 100,000 and up, really, right? So, in the event of your untimely demise, would you want your kids' college taken care of as well? Okay. So the way you determine how much protection you need, you just add up what your money take care of. And all you're saying, Mr. Younger, Mrs. Younger, that if either one of us die, we want to assure that our family have the same quality of life that we fight so hard to provide for them today. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
So we add up these four lines. It shows that you need $1.5 million in insurance protection. If you had died before I showed up today with just your job insurance, what would have happened to your family?
No, it'd be devastating.
It would be bad.
That would be bad, right? So then, this is a lot of insurance. Would you agree 1.5 million is a lot of insurance, isn't it? But tell me on this dime, what wouldn't you have needed? Miss Nick, if you died today, what on earth can you look at your wife and say, she don't need that tomorrow if I die?
You got me, let's do it.
And that's how they should feel. See, you don't have to close to your clients. They should be closing themselves. So you got to allow them to say it to you. You can't say it. You need this, you need that, you need this. Yeah, SA, you need, no. They have to say that to you. My family need all of it. See, when he said out of his mouth, it's reality. They need all of it. All you do in sales is you bring people around to your way of thinking. That's all you got to do. And when they say it out of their mouth, you brought them into that moment. All sales is bringing people into that moment. And that moment is she had to see her life without him and his check. And if you're not closing, you haven't found the ability to bring people into the moment of seeing each other without each other and that check. So if they got no insurance or they underinsured, because those are the only two categories we face, they either have none or not enough, then you have to bring them in that moment to solve that problem when? Now. That make sense? So 1.5 is a lot of insurance, right? Then he said they need all of it. So then obviously, Mr. and Mrs. Younger, my job today is not to convince you that you need insurance or income protection. That's not my job. Because this time make that obvious, don't it?
It makes sense.
I have one job today. My job is to get you all as close to what you need, but at a price that you can
Afford.
So I don't sound salesy. I don't sound like I'm trying to push something off on them. They understand that I'm leading with the crusade, the cause, right? So I show them 3 different options. And before we get too ahead of ourselves, let me see if you even qualify to protect your family the way you desire. Does that make sense? Even at that point, you need your eyeballs. Right? And so I use a lot of hand gestures. Why? To make sure they're paying attention, to make sure they're feeling it. right? So, Mr. and Mrs. Younger, you know your situation way better than I do. And what's in the best interest of your family if your husband didn't make it home tomorrow. So when you look at these three options, I want you to consider two things. What you need, but also what you can afford. So when you see these three options, Mr. and Mrs. Younger, which one of these is best to start protecting your family today? We show you three options because we believe in a concept that oatmeal beats no meal. Children in Africa don't necessarily love oatmeal, but it beats the alternative of going to bed hungry. Would you agree with that?
Right.
So looking at these options, which one makes most sense for your family to start your protection plan today?
This guy sells insurance.
Middle one? Okay, great. Well, let me ask you a few questions to see if you even qualify. In the last 10 years, have you had any diabetes, high blood pressure? So get right into the process. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? All right, so that's the transition. You'll go here,